This tutorial is for creating a cinemagraph where you are starting and stopping in the same exact spot. So for example, when I recorded this video, I started out and I stood in the same spot, or stood still for 1 second here, and then I turned on the light and then returned to the same spot and turned off the light. But starting out with this video, you're going to start out and decide which part that you want to keep and which part you want to get rid of. I did a couple takes of turning on and off the light here, so I'm just going to use my last take. So I'm going to start my video right where I'm standing still here before I turn on the light. And then I'm going to click and drag my video to crop it all the way to where that red line or that cursor is saved at. And then when I let go, it's going to delete that front part of my video. Then I'm going to drag this cursor to find where the end of my video should be. So right where I return with my hands down back at my side here. And I'm going to crop the video to the end. So if I hit the space bar to play it, you should be able to see me turn off the light, turn it back on, and return to the same spot. Now you'll notice it right about here towards the end, right there, there's a little bit of a jump in the video, and there's two different things that you can try to adjust that. If it's pretty clear and there's no visible jump, then you should be fine, but I would definitely recommend trying either of these two techniques just to minimize any of that jump to make it feel a little bit more seamless. The first thing to try is the faded loop, just like what we did with the faded loop tutorial. So if you need a little bit more detail on that or a slower version, go back and watch that video at this point. But what you're going to want to do now to add it to this video is start with your video group 1, duplicate it. Now that you have it duplicated, you're going to take your second layer, slide it all the way over to the right so that these two line up. And then I'm going to extend this out a bit, and I'm actually going to zoom in so it's easier to see. So I'm extending this out so that there's a little bit of overlap here. I can extend that out a little bit more. And then I'm going to crop the right side of my image or my video clip here all the way so that these two layers end at the same point. And then I'm going to grab my fade and click and drag that onto my top layer so that those two line up. And now I'm going to have my ending of the video fade into the start of the video. So if I play this here, we'll see how that fade looks. So I'm going to hit the space bar. And then that looks a lot more seamless towards the end where there's not much of a jump. So it kind of fades and fits everything together more. So again, that's the first thing you can try is creating the fade to bring your two videos together. And there's a bit of a lag because it's loading, but when you export the video, it should be fine. The second thing to try is masking off part of your image so that part of your image doesn't move and just the part such as the hand that is moving is shown in motion. So to do that, I'm going to pause this and I'm going to go back, get rid of my second layer here that I copied. So I'm just going to drag that to the trash. And then I'm going to click on my fade and delete that. So now I'm back to the beginning here. So now at this point, what I'm going to do is duplicate the layer again. And this time when I duplicate the layer, I'm going to click on this picture layer here. And I'm going to hit rasterize layer. So that way when I play this video, it's basically just playing the picture because my top layer is rasterized and my video layer is hidden underneath the photo. So to bring back that video that is hidden, what I'm going to do is add a mask to this top layer. And then with my paintbrush tool, I'm going to erase or mask off the part that's moving. So I'm going to zoom in a bit here. And I know that my arm is the only part over here that's moving, so I'm going to bring that back. So it's about here. And then the light turning on and off as well, I'm going to mask off. Now since I'm using a light in my video, it's going to change the lighting in the entire video here, so this would not work very well for masking off and freezing part of the video. But try it for yours if you're not changing the lighting. But you'll see what I mean in a second when I play this. So now when I play it, you can see just my hand moving. Everything else in the video is completely still. And what I mean by the light is when I turn this light off, it kind of looks a little bit off with the lighting, so it looks a little bit weird. One solution would be to just mask off the entire picture down here and just leave my body still. So I can mask all of this so that the lighting stays the same and all of that. But again, for yours, you probably didn't do something with the light, so you should be fine to mask that off. So then when I play this, it might look a little bit better when I go to turn that light off. Now, something you can try, you can see this area here kind of jumps a little bit towards the end and moves around a bit. So if you erased too much, I'm going to zoom in again, but if you erase too much, you can switch your color to white to bring that back. You can also try lowering the opacity on your top layer so you can kind of see through it and see where that movement is. So now that you can see where that movement is, or that motion, you can slide this cursor around to see if there's anywhere that jumps that you might need to go back and edit a little bit. So maybe right around here I can mask off a little bit more here. Bring that out. And then if I bring my opacity back up and zoom out and hit play, just the hand there should be moving. But again, this would probably work a lot better if you have a smaller movement compared to the entire body here, because there is a little bit too much going on here and then with my lights. So option 1 would work a lot better for my specific video, but definitely try both and see what works better for you.